going against the Season 8 finale. It's Bloody Baratheon! Alright, here we are, episode 6. People are fucking pissed. But it seems like almost the majority is, there's more people that are upset with the ending than I initially thought. Of course, you're going to get people that are going to defend something that they love, but it seems like the consensus is that it was handled poorly.
Yeah, that's an accurate thing. It was all rushed. I mean, it's like, it's clearly 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
That's what these final two seasons were. And it's like, you can kind of like chart where it got progressively worse. And when I look and I talk to people that I'm friends with and people that I respect their opinion at all and ask, why did you like it? Like, please explain. And people will tell you why they liked it. And more than anything, it seems like the people that liked it are the ones that appreciate how awesome it looks. The spectacle of it, the cinematography, the sound, the music, the acting, all of those things are top notch. Like, you can't really complain about almost any of those things. You can only really complain about the writing. And it's like, I think a lot of people, I feel like I said like 900 times last week. I'm pretty sure.
This guy set it off.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, though, that really, really like the show, that enjoy the show, they don't care about those things. They don't care about the details. They don't care about things adding up and making total sense. They don't care about the logistics. They don't care about the small details that as soon as you start to ask questions, it all unravels. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
All they care about is the really cool things, the symbolism. Seeing Daenerys walk out when like the dragon wings unfurled behind her and it looked like she's becoming Maleficent.
Yeah.
People like that. And I thought it looked awesome.
Yeah, it looked great.
It did.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a medieval Hitler Youth rally or something.
Totally. Or Stalin or something. It was one of those deals where she's clearly become the crazy, deluded tyrant that is just going to make everybody fall in line, and only she knows what's good, so she's going to do what she wants to do. Everyone has to fall in line or they're just going to die, and it doesn't matter if they're children, and she didn't care.
Which is like, I could go on for hours about that. But a lot of people, I think they wanted to be like an answer. They wanted some sort of like closure. So when they don't get it and things are like, huh, what? Like their heads are trying to wrap around and they make excuses for the show. That's what I think.
This show comes off more like a snippet in time. Because if you look at the theories online, people have them about Bran was evil the whole way. Here's where he was heading with it, and Bran's going to be an evil ruler. And maybe they're right, but we don't ever get that.
Yeah.
We're never going to get it. They're not going to continue it because the good part of the story that was interesting already happened. The only reason anyone would care about a sequel or a continuation of that show would be to kind of see if they were right with their theories. They wouldn't care about it because it would be good. Because it wouldn't. You would have a renaissance because like 90% of the world's population was wiped out.
Yep.
They can cross their fingers and hope that no one comes over from Essos where there was no death to wipe them out, because they could do that.
Yeah,
like what would, right now.
What would happen if all of these sellsword companies that are in the thousands just decided to come over and wreak havoc and kill Bronn and take Highgarden? Like, all those things could happen, and probably would. And you can see the problems that are already built in. It made sense to me that the North ends up on its own. Yeah. That the North gets to be a free kingdom, because they're not like the rest of the world that you've seen. They're not anything similar to Highgarden and the Stormlands and all those places that have a lot in common with how they're kind of these feudal places, where in the North, it's not just about like favors and who owes what. It's that they have this long and rich history where they actually are loyal to the Starks, and they take pride in being Northmen, and they take pride in their whole way of life.
It's just gone so off the rails, and it's just so ridiculous how they make the world. It's such a big world, but in the show, but at the end, it was just such a small world. Like, everybody from Highgarden, every Tyrell, all the lineage is gone through that. So, let's just give it to Bronn. Like, that's like, it doesn't work like that in a feudal system. And to give it to Bronn, like, the week after, if there's another episode, there's going to be rebellion in Highgarden, and they're going to probably kill Bronn.
Why would they reward Bronn for threatening, I'm going to kill you, unless you give me something better than they're giving me to kill you?
It doesn't make any sense.
Let's start with the
highlights.
With the highlights, because obviously the lowlights are taking center stage this week.
You guys can fire away with this because I'm always better at this than you guys.
The highlights is John finally pets a ghost. The end.
That's probably one of my only highlights as well. I mean,
all right, I'll tell you stuff that I liked. I like the fact that they showed you the ground level when Tyrion's walking around and sees just how bad it was and how many people were torched. So many of them are women and children, and he sees it.
It was a little too much of that, though. Did you, I mean,
it might have been
14 minutes.
They wanted it to really weigh in on you, and I think we all did the same thing. We're watching it, we're like, okay, let's move on. We get it, but I think that to really drive the point home, they wanted you to see the carnage, and then they wanted you to see the police Nazi state that they're now living in, with the Unsullied everywhere. That you better not step out of line. The Unsullied are there to check everybody. Daenerys comes in all triumphant over the rubble that is this city, like this great thing that I've just taken and ruined.
Yeah.
You know, it's the dumbest thing in the world. It would be the same thing if you won a car and you just smashed it up on your way home, and you're like, check out my awesome car that I just won and destroyed. So it doesn't make sense why she would wreck the thing that was she claims is her birthright and she wanted. That didn't really make a lot of sense. But seeing the wreckage of it and seeing what a disaster she really created, the scale of it, I thought that was pretty cool, because Tyrion seemed to be in denial for a long time about where Daenerys was, what was happening. Even when bad things started to happen, he didn't want to take it in. And once he saw that, his mind was made up. He was going to not be the Hand anymore. He was just going to accept whatever his fate was. She wants to kill him, she can kill him. You know, he decided he wanted to walk in on his own. He didn't want Jon to send anybody with him because he wanted to go and search for Jaime, and obviously Cersei would be with him. He wanted to go and find that. That scene I thought was really dumb how they did it, because there was one pile of bricks and there was like 3 bricks on top of them and they're dead.
And they're perfectly fine.
He finds them immediately. Yeah, their faces are fine. He should have grabbed that gold hand. That's worth some money.
Yeah.
But he finds them immediately, and right next to him there's no bricks.
Yeah, there's no bricks, but not only that, they're at the top of the pile, and there's fucking bricks underneath them.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I'm no engineer,
right,
but I'm pretty sure that if fucking a couple of tons of fucking concrete came crashing down on you.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what an avalanche looks like.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I really like the scene where Tyrion tells her he's going to quit. She has him grabbed. Fine. She gives her a crazy Hitler speech where she rallies the people with no megaphone, but everyone hears her from a mile out. So sure, we'll just accept that they all hear it. But then the Jon and Tyrion meet up. When they talked, when Tyrion's in a cell, I thought that was a really good moment. I thought it played really, really well. I like those two on screen again. I liked it a lot. And when Jon didn't say goodbye or good luck, I knew that he was going to take some action to either try and get him pardoned or to kill her. And I thought he was going to kill her the whole time.
Yeah.
So it made sense that that would be on the table. And then he goes up there, clearly with it on his mind that he might have to kill her. Goes up there, feels her out. She's this crazy person with wild eyes now.
Yep.
And he's talking to her and trying to explain to her why she can't go the way she's trying to go with it, and gives her every opportunity to prove or to convince him that she's not this maniac. And she does the opposite. She proves that Tyrion was right. She is crazy. She's too far gone. There's no fixing her. And he kills her, which I thought he had to do. Kind of a weak move that he did it sneaky.
Yeah.
He could beat her up so easy.
He
could have shoulder her eyes, son of Ned Stark, sentence you to die, and chopped her head off. He could have did it anyway, but he decided to knife her in the heart when she wasn't ready for it. A little weak. Had to happen.
So my problem with the whole thing with like Tyrion and Jon talking, like, did they want to make Jon like a fucking idiot? Like, did they want to make him like that, like so dumb and so like blind to everything going around that he needs like Tyrion to finally be, hey, she's crazy. Maybe you should do something about it because you can go up there. Like, he doesn't see all the carnage. He needs a talking to from Tyrion to like have him.
But
like,
Tyrion just figured it out fucking 10 minutes prior.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a bunch of geniuses.
They were both dipshits.
If you've ever known anybody that avoids confrontation, though, that's Jon Snow. He avoids confrontation. He just wants to believe it's going to be okay, bury his head in the sand and think, she's not bad. She just had to do some bad things to obtain power. She'll be good now that she has that power. And when confronted with the truth of it...
But wouldn't it be a better story to maybe to hear her speech saying like she's going to kill everybody from Winterfell down to Dorne.
Well, I think something that might have like driven the point that she was crazy and even more of a tyrant. I mean, like she let fucking Tyrion do the "you can't fire me, I quit" routine.
Yes.
Like
that's great.
Why did he not just get fucking Dracarys there and fucking blasted through?
Yeah.
Like the fact that she would
Like a
take
2-year-old
him,
got fucking Dracarys for doing nothing.
People take pity when someone's cripples, bastards, and broken things. People take pity. You could see her holding off on doing it there and
because
making
of
the decision later. You could see her holding off on doing it.
I think she's making an example in front of everybody.
And in front of her new.
But no example in front of the Dothraki and the Unsullied means anything because they were already so loyal to her that it didn't really matter.
But everyone else was watching.
And all she had to do is wait 10 minutes,
All
and
the
there was bound to be
5 other
10,000
people
more Dothraki on the screen.
Yeah. So can we get into that too?
Fucking gremlins.
So
I like this episode, and the more I thought about it and really kind of moved past the minutia of it, the more I liked it. Because the small things that you can pick apart, if you just look past those, it was good. And it gave you some finality, and a lot of people really liked it.
In my opinion, the whole mentality of if you look past these details and you look past these little details, you can enjoy it.
Exactly.
But like, if you put down a fucking piece of shit in front of me with a fork and knife and say, go ahead, eat this shit. And I think to myself, hey, if, look past the fact that it smells, look past the fact that it's waste, look past the fact that it's disgusting, look past all that, I can eat a pile of shit.
You eat the
And that's what fucking this episode was a pile of shit.
So I've like put a lot of things in the past behind. Like, you can have your this in the past seasons. Okay, yeah, I get it. Like, okay, I won't talk about why I hate it. Okay. Like, I won't. Like, all right, I'll keep my opinions to myself. But now it's like I feel like I'm like, what's that called when you
spent a lot of money on therapy?
Well, I feel like all of those past things I've like galvanized myself to like now it's like see what I mean when I was talking about this back then? Like this is why.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break and check out Brolyrian Steel's guest appearance on I Love Mondays Live.
I love Monday! Monday!
Game of Thrones, the final one was on last night, right? Someone was complaining. We got one more piece of fan art. Someone diehard sent this in last night.
Oh, where is it?
We have a show here on the Breaking Balls Network that recaps the episodes, and this is a dead-on ringer for these guys.
Who's the guy in the middle? He's a weirdo.
Is that supposed to be you?
No.
No, he doesn't know what Game of Thrones is.
I've never even watched
it
you
either.
either. I mean, I know.
There's only 3 guys that have shoulders that broad, and they're all in this room right now.
Let me find them, actually. This is a really fun, like...
Can you do it?
Well, that hairy bastard over there. and the gross guy behind the desk, for sure.
Well, two
I
out
thought
of
that
3.
guy was wearing a fur coat. He's not really hairy.
But I don't see this guy. I don't see...
The bald one?
Yeah. Fooled again.
Yeah, that's these guys are diehards. Check out their show. It's on
It is
YouTube,
actually
the
a
past
show.
ones, and there's some
It'll
more
make a
stuff
lot
coming
of
up, I
sense
think.
to you.
It'll all
Since
check out.
Neither one of you have seen the show.
Yeah.
Monday!
All right, speaking of things that don't really make sense, I wanted to talk a little bit about the world's smartest dragon. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of go with this. So allegedly, dragons are super intelligent, and and especially Drogon, which is supposed to be the king of the smart dragons.
I would argue he should be the dumbest because he's the toughest.
Yeah, that would make a little more sense. But in my opinion, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me that he fucking knew that the chair in the room was the cause of all the problems and decided to melt the fucking thing. You know what I mean? I can understand him getting upset that Dany died, but I don't see him looking at Jon and reading Jon's mind and then being like, oh, I'm gonna melt the fucking knifey chair.
I agree that it made no sense because here's what it did. It fed into people that want to talk about it, and I sort of think that they did a lot of things that made no sense because they knew that it would stoke the crowd of people
talk about it.
that would have conversations about it, because now you have people that say, I believe that the reason why Drogon didn't torch Jon is because Jon is of Valyrian descent. You know that he's part Targaryen. so the dragon couldn't hurt him because dragons can't hurt Targaryens. And if you just Google that, you can see all the times that dragons killed other Targaryens. Yeah. Never mind Valyrians, because there was a whole history of those people killing each other. But Targaryens killed each other with their dragons repeatedly. Mm-hmm. So there is no problem for a dragon killing Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen the Seventh, whatever you want to call him. Because of his bloodline and they gave him a sniff, it's not going to give him a pass. It would torch him. That would be the thing to do. It would torch him and eat him.
He should have died.
And he should have been standing in front of the throne and fucking caught the crossfire, and he got fucking turned to fried chicken, and the fucking throne melted like in Terminator 2 when the T-1000
that would have made more sense than seeing him into the north, running into what's turning into spring, which I guess thematically was supposed to close it out.
That winter was fast.
Here comes your spring.
Yeah, the winter was fast.
Yeah, obviously a bunch of time was supposed to have passed, and there's so many things you can question about it. Why would Jon turn himself in? All he had to do was walk on and be like, I think I said Daenerys was up there.
Yeah.
I saw Drogon leave.
I saw the dragon. He was mad.
But Jon could have done like the Olay. Like, if you stood in front of the throne, like, so if Drogon went to go shoot him with his fire, he could have been like, whoa!
Even that would have been something.
You guys won't believe this. I went up there, and Daenerys was on the throne, and Drogon did not like that. He torched her. He was
jealous of the throne.
He torched her in the throne until the steel was down to dust. Never mind her. You're not going to find her. How does it make sense that Bran says, when they say, oh, we want you to be king, and he goes, why do you think I came all this way?
Yeah, I would have been like, whoa!
You have nothing else to do.
I would be like, whoa! What do you mean by that, buddy?
They go, you go wherever they push your little wagon.
Like, what do you mean by that? Did you mean you knew all this shit was going to come? Like, did
he can't see the future.
Right, but I'm saying, like, what did he mean by that?
There's literally no reason. There's nothing that ever said that he could see the future. So the people saying he knew where this was going, I burped and talked. There's nothing that has said that he can see the future or that he should know where this is heading to believe that he knew, oh, I knew you'd make me king. That's why I came. Yeah. Like, he just told us. I
would have fucking slapped him.
He just told everybody.
He didn't want to be the fucking Lord of Winterfell 2 weeks prior.
And I can kind of write that off because they're deciding they're going to
write that off. He says they want to be the Lord.
I'll tell you why. Oh. They're going to democracy for the ruler of everything. The ruler of the new 6 kingdoms is going to be...
kingdoms.
That's so lame. So the new ruler of the 6 kingdoms is going to be elected. But for now, we need somebody that can rule, that's not power hungry, that doesn't care about that stuff. So Bran fits that. And afterwards, we're going to elect somebody. So that much of it does make sense. The North, there always needs to be a Stark in Winterfell. There needs to be some kind of a dynasty there. There has to be a Stark there where they made it very clear that his dick doesn't work. Bran can't be that guy. Somebody that can have kids, that will be Starks, that can rule Winterfell forever, needs to be the Lord there.
What happened to the fucking prophecy that fucking Melisandre fucking you're closing the blue eyes and you're gonna close the green eyes? Whatever fucking happened to that? There's so many of those like loose ends.
People were hanging on to the blue eyes thing about Arya killing that's why they said it, but then the green eyes, nope, throw it away.
Like R.I.P. to the prophecies because none of them were fulfilled. None.
Yep.
What happened to the Cersei prophecy that a younger queen would come, cast her down, and take everything that she holds dear? That didn't happen.
Nothing happened.
So what's the point of introducing all of those fucking prophecies? What's the point of building tension if there's no fucking payoff for it?
So like George R. R. Martin he's not a believer in prophecy.
I think he is in the books. I think he's going to fulfill them in the books, and I think that's the goal. I think they ran out of time and just punted.
They're either gonna
actually punted.
They're either gonna not happen in the books, but you're gonna be like, oh, okay, and you're gonna get it, or they're gonna fulfill, which I hope they do.
The thing about prophecy that works in the books is that every prophecy happens, but not the way you think.
Right.
It happens where you say, okay, so the prince that was promised. And then you find out, it was actually the princess.
Right.
Because prince and princess are interchangeable and it doesn't mean anything.
But that's why prophecies work, because you make
it catches you with your pants down. Yeah,
but
you decide what you think it means, and then it doesn't mean that.
But they're just so way off in the show that it's like...
Just like Cersei, the Valancourt will put his hands around your pale white throat and choke the life from you. So like Valancourt, they find out that word means little brother. And you're like, okay. So little brother means Tyrion because he is a midget and the little brother, both. It's all the same exact thing. So you think it's obviously him. But then you realize Jaime is technically her little brother because he was born after her. But then you realize it doesn't have to be her little brother. It could be any little brother. It could be the Hound. It could be technically Jon Snow is a little brother. Bran's a little brother. All these people are little brothers. Any one of them could have done it. And instead, rubble.
Right.
But like, I don't understand the pale aspect of it because she was standing by a fucking window the whole season. She didn't get any type of tan, standing by that fucking window on the veranda.
So the bunch of shit. The council. Where the hell was Tully this whole time? Now Tully tries to speak. Sansa tells him to shut up. I'm like, where was he to help fight?
But the whole semblance of the
He probably found out later that Arya killed his whole all of his enemies.
Yeah,
he didn't know.
But like the whole circle of the meeting of the lords and ladies of the Seven Kingdoms. Why the fuck was Brienne of Tarth there? Like, are you just gonna allow any shit bum knight off of the street? Like, why is she there?
Those are the only people left alive in the whole fucking Westeros. Basically.
Like, is that what they're saying? Like, what? Like, why is fucking Davos there? Like he has no fucking right being in that. Like, it seems like all these people, even like fucking Tarly. I thought you fucked off and had nothing to do with it. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't understand the semblance of people.
Cronyism. This is the guy that kissed a lot of ass that you work with that is never on time. He never does a good job. He doesn't perform. But because he's really good friends and goes bowling with the manager, he ends up as getting a raise and getting a promotion. That's Sam.
Right.
Sam he's just friends with the right people.
He's the fucking what is he, the fucking Grand Maester? Fuck you.
He dropped out of fucking Maester school. Like,
he can't even do medical stuff. I mean, to be fair, he did one medical treatment on Jorah and
somehow it was a miracle.
So now he's not only... Because
he pulled the fucking scab off. Good for you.
Maesters are essentially...
Can we go... He cured grayscale? That's such bullshit.
Maesters are essentially doctors. And everything else. They're teachers, they're doctors, they're all that stuff. He tripped
into a fucking miracle cure.
Yeah, he tried an experimental thing
by
and it worked.
By taking some grayscale off.
By peeling a scab. He peeled the fucking scab off.
This is what I'm saying. That goes all the way... It rings true all the way back now until when they couldn't have the books to keep them going. It just rings back all the way through now. You see all the cracks are going to get bigger now. Why did Jon Snow get... So he takes the black... Like, you have to take the black. Oh, okay. Let me go to the... Let me protect the realm. Let me go back and my watch begins.
Yeah. I feel like that was the kind of thing that they tell Grey Worm, we're going to sentence him to the Night's Watch. It's a life sentence. It sucks there. He has to guard the realms of men forever. And then they look over and they're like...
Yeah.
But it's like when you smash a window and your parents are like, oh, don't worry, he's going to be on punishment for 3 weeks.
Like, I know if they...
And then they let you go out
like,
that
I know if they wanted to, like... I know if they wanted to just say, just say that for saying... You have to tell, like, you can't just say that and just be like, okay, yeah, they just said it for that. No, you have to show that like, they were just giving...
some lip service.
Yes, lip service. Like, they have to be, like...
You get the impression that they wanted Grey Worm to just go away forever. Take you people, go away. You're not going to reproduce, so eventually you people will die off. And we won't have to ever deal with you again. Go. They don't ever tell you where the Dothraki go. They just, vanish. Vamoose.
What's your opinions on what was the most disappointing fantasy element of Game of Thrones?
The whole series.
No. I'm talking about any sort of the dragons, the direwolves, the Bran, the Night King.
Okay. The Battle for Winterfell was supremely weak.
Yeah.
That should have been... I thought they were going to lose the Battle of Winterfell, have to retreat somewhere and win later. They'd have to rally everybody and band together, and that would be it. I thought that would be it. I thought it was going to be... I hate to always use Star Wars, but it's the best example for it. When you watch Empire Strikes Back, the reason it's so good is because it's all down notes. They lose.
Right.
Everyone's getting their ass kicked at the end of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They lost. They're on the run. They're scampering. They're trying to regroup.
It would have been a perfect mid.
And then they come back.
The season.
All they had to do is lose the Battle of Winterfell, regroup somewhere else, and then pull it off and win later.
And have all the resources that you think was going to happen help, like Bran, Jon.
Yep.
Right. And
dragons.
there's a million things you could do that are basically fan fiction. Bran could have warged some kind of a beast that jumps in the way and gets killed by the Night King to protect somebody, and then Jon kills the Night King. Anything like that works, and it's such a simple like hack almost.
Right.
It's such a simple fix it.
What was your most disappointment, like in terms of like fantasy aspect?
Definitely the fucking Night King. I mean, I agree. Like, I saw the Night King thing coming down to the fucking wire. And it didn't have to be a situation where it was, you know, Cersei's forces and the North and everybody joining for a noble cause, you know, to take down the Night King. It didn't have to be like that. But the way that it went down was just such a fucking cock-teased disappointment.
The idea that the battle for the throne and the battle for King's Landing would somehow be bigger and more important than the fight for all mankind.
For all humanity. Like, yeah, that's definitely my biggest gripe is that...
It would be like in Armageddon if you found out that the thing with the meteor was like, it seemed important, but who wins the presidency after that was actually much more important.
Yeah. How do they, I just
Like-
want to know what goes through their heads.
I'm glad that a lot of people liked it. I'm glad that a lot of people liked the whole show. I think on a rewatch, I think people are gonna, in a reread, you'll see people a little bit differently because I feel like still a lot of the show is gonna be in line with the books. So if Daenerys went crazy in the books and goes evil, I think that's gonna happen in the books. I don't think they deviated from the books that much. So I think if you reread the books, which I'm gonna do now, when you see the little changes along the way with
let
her,
the show fucking taint my.
it won't taint it, but you'll consider the possibility maybe she's turning bad here. Maybe this is a bad sign. Maybe she's on her way to becoming a true Sith.
Yeah.
And you'll read it that way, and you'll see it a little bit differently. I don't know. I think that's bound to happen, and I think it's gonna play better, especially when you have so much of the story left to be told in the books.
And just like that, our watch is ended. Thank you so much for watching this season, but before we part ways, check out our alternate ending for the Season 8 finale.
Stand above.